Καλημέρα σε όλους σας. Ελπίζω να προλάβατε, να ξεκουραστήκατε καλά, ώστε να απολαύσετε και την πρώτη και τις υπόλοιπες συνεδρίες της σημερινής ημέρας. Good morning to you all, dear friends. Hope you all level up your stamina in order to enjoy today's events even more. Αγαπητοί φίλοι, λοιπόν, σας καλωσορίζουμε στην τέταρτη ημέρα των εργασιών του Διεθνούς Φεστιβάλ Ποιήσης της Πάτρας. Σήμερα, μέσα από αυτές τις 4 συνεδρίες που έχουν προγραμματιστεί όπως και χθες, θα έχουμε την ευκαιρία να ταξιδέψουμε στον κόσμο της ποιήσης, να ακούσουμε τις φωνές των δημιουργών και να ζήσουμε και εμείς οι ίδιοι από την αρχή τις υποσχέσεις των λέξεων που μας διαπερνούν μέχρι το τελευταίο μας κύτταρο. Dear friends, we warmly welcome you to the 4th day of the 8th Patra's World Poetry Festival by the title Voices Beyond the Horizon. Today, through the 4 seasons, we will have the opportunity to journey into the world of poetry, to hear the voices of the creators, and to live again through the promises of words that cut through us to the very last cell of who we are. Μεσημβρινή Διασταύρωση. Γιβραλτάρ, Ηνωμένο Βασίλειο και Ιρλανδία συναντούν την Ελλάδα, τα Βαλκάνια και τη Μαύρη Θάλασσα. 15 ποιητές μοιράζονται μία ζωντανή ώρα με καθαρές γραμμές και ζωντανό βηματισμό. Ρεύματα προφορικής ποίησης από το Γιβραλτάρ, το Ηνωμένο Βασίλειο και την Ιρλανδία συναντούν τον ελληνικό λυρισμό και έναν βαλκανικό άξονα με βουλγαρική αιχμή, ενώ η Σλοβενία, η Βόρεια Μακεδονία και η Μολδαβία ολοκληρώνουν τον ορίζοντα αυτών της ποίησης. Μια μεσημβρινή ανάγνωση που κινείται από τη σκηνική ένταση στον λυρισμό και από τα περάσματα προς το κοινό έδαφος. Mid-morning crossing Gibraltar, the UK and Ireland, meet Greece, the Balkans and the Black Sea. 15 poets share a brisk hour of clear lines and live cadence. Spoken world currents from Gibraltar, the UK and Ireland meet Greek lyric, a Bulgarian-led Balkan thread, with Slovenia, North Macedonia and Moldova rounding the compass. A bright, audience-friendly reading that moves from performance to lyric, from crossings to common ground. Και τώρα παρακαλούμε την πρώτη ομάδα των 5 ποιητών μας να προσέλθει και να ξεκινήσει κατά σειρά παρουσίασης, όπως κάναμε και χθες, την ανάγνωση των έργων τους. We kindly invite the first group of 5 poets to come forward and in order of presentation begin reading. Aksinia Mihaylova, you're the first. Please come forward. Please mind your step.
Good morning. Има една планина в мен, която се опитвам да изкача от години. Старо езическо слънце идва на върха и всяка сутрин и ми казва да тръгна след него, но с това наследство, което нося от преди да се родя и с благочестивия вятър, който ме блъска в гърдите, спирам на всеки километричен камък, разлиствам бестиария в мен и пускам една по една на свобода всички живинки. Сърни и вълчета, влечуги и насекоми, страхове и униния, докато не остана само един гълъб и един ангел. Ангелът не ме позна, не беше моят, а птицата не смея да погледна в очите. Има една заснежена планина, която носи моето име и не знам как да я изкача. Мерси.
A Greek English translation will follow. Το βήμα σας προσέξτε ανεβαίνοντας.
Εκεί είμαστε. There is a mountain in me that I've been trying to climb up for years. An old pagan sun arrives each morning at its peak and tells me to follow the lead. But with this inheritance I've been bearing even before I was born, and with a pious wind pounding on my chest, I stop at every trail post, leaf through the bestiary in me, and set free one at a time all living things. Does and wolf pups, reptiles and insects, fears and mopes, until I end up solely with one dove and one angel. The angel didn't recognize me, he wasn't mine, while the bird, I don't dare look in the eyes. There is one snow-clad mountain that carries my name, and I don't know how to climb it up.
Thank you. Vladimir Martinovski. Καλημέρα, Vladimir.
Καλημέρα σας. Καλημέρα σας. The poem that I'm going to read is about crossing. Different types of crossings between art and life. Меѓу два холандски музеја. Правоаголни ледини со лалиња во сите бои од виножитото. Омеѓени се со канали што како да се копани според некоја од сликите на Мондријан. Само една крава се осмелува да ја наруши барем за миг совршената симетрија од линии, облици и бои. На влезот од градот старо сламено столче оставено пред накривена куќа. За некој да си го привере во својот дом, да го наслика на платно или ако нема време и толку бои, барем да го фотографира, но без да користи блиц. Облеани со црвена дифузна светлина како потомки од Сузана, од Рембрандт, од излозите девојки едновремено ја покажуваат и ја кријат својата голотија. Од ненадеж се заличува на стоп кадар. Луѓе што глумат скулптури за неколку ситни пари, некој утрово грижливо наместил инсталации од паркирани велосипеди. Потоа се личи на забавена снимка од фотофиниш. За секој агол се случува нов перформанс на велосипед. Девојка со бисерни обетки нарамо носи штафелај со огромно распнато платно, не баре едро, и на заарден велосипед плови меѓу каналите. Еден дедо со црвен турбан на тротинет влечка огромен дрвен куфер со брашно, терпентин и масло. Над плочниците како летоци за потрага на серијски убиец лебдат отпечатоци од неговите 80 автопортрети. Но кого да го бараме, детето, младичот или старецот? Се слуша хор од детски гласови. Со слушалки од музеите качени на ролерки ги повторуваат лекциите за старите мајстори. Рубенс знаел 7 јазици, имал 77 чираци. Вермер умрел сиромав, сликал само 2 слики годишно. Дури и локалниот пекар поседувал 2 негови платна. Во левиот агол од сликата на Рембрандт има рака што го запишува пеењето на Хомер. И Хомер имал 77 чираци. Пеел само 2 пеења дневно. Му пишал Винсен на Тео дека е вџашен од естампите на Хирошиге и пекарот умрел сиромав. Заедно со гласовите низ градот се множат и ехата од сликите. На булеварот Валтер Бенјамин сите носат вратоврски со дезен од сончогледи и мајци, со репродукции од јадачи на компири, ноќна стража, час по анатомија и звездена ноќ. Во сокакот Рене Магрит, еден чичко со цилиндар, за кого повеќето мислат дека е надуван, цел ден повторува: ова луле не е луле, ова луле не е луле, ова луле не е луле. На проштадот Франц Халс сите улични свирачи ги држат инструментите како нивните предци. На еден камен мост девојка чита порака од мобилниот со истата гримаса и истата зачуденост како жените што читаат писма на платната од фламандските мајстори. Опколен од овие слики сепак ми олеснува. Денес е денот кога не работат музеите. Евхаристополи.
No. Between two Dutch museums, rectangular fields full of tulips in all the colors of the rainbow, framed by canals as if dug following a pattern of Mondrian painting. Only a single cow dares to disturb for a moment the perfect symmetry of lines, shapes, and colors. At the entrance of the town, an old wicker chair is left sitting in front of a leaning house, so someone can take it to his home and paint on a canvas, or, if short on time and colors, at least take a photograph of it, but without using a flash. Covered in diffused red light, as if they are daughters of Rembrandt's Susanna, girls both flaunt and hide their nudity from the shop windows. All of a sudden, everything resembles a stop frame. People acting as sculptures for a few quid. Someone this morning has carefully set up an installation of parked bicycles. Then it all turns slowly into a slow replay of a photo finish. Behind every corner, a new performance on a bicycle happens. The girl with a pearl earring carries a large easel on her shoulder and a huge open canvas like a sail, and is sailing among the canals on a rusty bicycle. An old man with a red turban on a tricycle drags behind him an enormous wooden case full of flour, turpentine, and oil. Over the pavements, like flyers with a warrant for a serial killer, float the traces of his 80 self-portraits. But who should we look for, the child, the young, or the old man? You can hear a choir of children's voices with museum headphones running on rollerblades, repeating the lessons about the old masters. Rubens knew 7 languages. He had 77 apprentices. Vermeer died poor. He only did 2 paintings a year. Even the local baker owned 2 of his canvases. In the left corner of a Rembrandt's painting, there is a hand writing down verses by Homer. Homer, too, had 77 apprentices. He wrote only 2 cantos a day. Vincent wrote to Theo that he can't sleep because of the stamps by Hiroshige. The baker died poor, too. Together with the voices, the echoes of the paintings multiply through the town. In the Walter Benjamin Boulevard, everyone is wearing sunflower ties and T-shirts with reproductions of the Potato Eaters, the Night Watching, the Anatomy Class, or the Starry Night. In the René Magritte alley, a man with a top hat, which most people think is high, repeats all day, "This pipe is not a pipe." In the Franz Hals Square, all the street musicians hold their instruments just like their ancestors. On a stone bridge, a girl is reading a message on her cell phone with the same frown and wonders like women reading letters on the paintings of the Flemish masters. Though surrounded by all these images, yet I am relieved Today is the day when museums are closed.
Well, I believe we have a new entry in our gathering today. I say this because I can recall the name, Catherine Brogden. Isn't that true? Welcome, Catherine. What a name, sounds so Irish. In it? In it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to be here. This is a poem that I wrote when I was moving back to Ireland after living away for almost 2 decades. And my partner comes from a country that, like Greece, is very warm with wonderful food. Unfortunately, Ireland does not have wonderful weather or wonderful food. So I wrote this poem about trying to make sure that my country would be welcoming for her.
But has wonderful people.
Has wonderful people. The people make up for the weather and the food. And she is from Malaysia, where it is illegal to be in a same-sex relationship. So that is why we decided to move to Ireland, so that we could legally be together in the same country. So this is cinnamon tea. On the shelves of Belfast's Asian supermarket is that cinnamon tea. The one I couldn't find out east. The only hospitality I could offer her, along with dates that Dad packed when I brought her back to Maytower on the night we met. From jungle palms, I've called it in, my rainy forest of ferns unfurling by the bog brown burn. The cherry tree springs pink at the home house where Dad wraps Mum's nightdress in a hot water bottle. She's an ashy pet, like my love, who wears thermals in July. But here we can kiss in lifts, hold hands in streets, maybe find home in a small town of abattoirs and assembly lines where I put Mum to bed. Here, you'll not sit. If it's a sunny day, then you wash the curtains because it's a great day for the drying. While I scope the aisles of the Asian supermarket, feeding back on the availability of her comfort food to ease her entry, eating edamame and sipping cinnamon tea.
Thank you. Oh, I love that accent. It's so crispy and juicy at the same time, and it sounds like a jingle bell, you might say. A Greek voice is now following. Oh.
Τσάι κανέλας.
Oh, yeah.
Στα ράφια του ασιατικού σούπερ μάρκετ του Belfast είναι εκείνο το τσάι κανέλας, εκείνο που δεν μπόρεσα να βρω στην Ανατολή. Η μόνη φιλοξενία που μπόρεσα να προσφέρω, μαζί με χουρμάδες που τους πακετάρισε ο μπαμπάς όταν την έφερα πίσω στο Maytower το βράδυ που γνωριστήκαμε. Αποφύνηκε στη ζούγκλα στο έχω επικαλεστεί το βροχερό μου δάσος από φευγαλαίες καμπανούλες και φτέρες που ξετυλίγονται κοντά στο τυρφό κάστανο ρέμα. Οι κερασιές ροδαίνουν την άνοιξη στο πατρικό, όπου ο μπαμπάς τυλίγει τη θερμοφόρα με το νυχτικό της μαμάς. Είναι μια σταχτιά αγαπημένη, όπως και η αγαπημένη μου που φοράει ισοθερμικά τον Ιούλιο. Μα εδώ μπορούμε να φιλιόμαστε στα ασανσέρ, να κρατιόμαστε χέρι με χέρι στους δρόμους, ίσως να βρούμε σπίτι σε μια κομμόπολη, με σφαγεία και γραμμές συναρμολόγησης που άφησα πίσω, όπου έβαζε τη μαμά μου για ύπνο. Εδώ δεν θα κάτσεις. Πλύνε τις κουρτίνες, γιατί είναι ιδανική μέρα για στέγνομα. Σαρώνω τους διαδρόμους, δίνω ανατροφοδότηση για τη διαθεσιμότητα των φαγητών παρηγοριάς της, για να διευκολύνω την είσοδό της τρώγοντας ενταμάμε, ρουφώντας τσάι κανέλας.
Σωτήριος Ηλιώτης.
Αποκάλυψη. Είσαι η σύντροφος των παιχνιδιών μου σε έναν κόσμο φυλακισμένο από αόρατες, άτεγκτες αλυσίδες. And now in English. Revelation. You are my game's companion in a world imprisoned by invisible, merciless chains. A poem about the COVID time and not only. Thank you.
Κύριε Παγιασλή, θα υπάρξει ελληνική μετάφραση σε αυτό? Στο πόνημα του κύριου Σουλέτη. Ωραία. Προχωράμε στον επόμενο, λοιπόν. Natalia Zagoreanu.
Good morning, everyone.
Καλημέρα.
Carmine putea să împartă pică în noaptea cea, părea că ninge des cu sticlă ori tinichea. Asaltul buzelor spre cer și gheață în sânge, nu vreau durerii să-i mai cer, a nu mă strânge. Se stinge rujul din obraz, se-mi bate ochii, cuvintele de bun rămas sugrumă plopii. Se scaldă ultimii tăi pași în lac de zgură. De ce n-ai vrut, plecând, să-mi lași un pic de ură?
Carmen could have envied me. That night it seemed to snow abundantly with glass or tin. The raising of the lips to the sky and ice on my blood. I don't want to request the pain, not to strangle me. The pallor fades from the cheek. The eyes are becoming drunk. The farewell words twist the poplars. Your last footsteps swim in a lake of ashes. While you were leaving, why didn't you want to leave me a little hatred?
And now the second group is following. Dimitris Vasilakis.
Okay, it's great to be here. And I'm going to read a poem that was translated by Lena Kalergi, who is part of this festival too. She's not here now, but the young poet, she decided to translate this. Αθεόφαγος. Δεν αποκλείεται η πιθανότητα να υπάρχει Θεός, αλλά όχι συνέχεια. Και αυτό γιατί απλά η ασυνέχεια είναι πολυπλοκότερη δομή από τη συνέχεια, καθότι την περικλείει. Οπότε και το ως άνω ασφαλές συμπέρασμα. Η περιοδικότητα εμφάνισης δεν μπορεί να καθοριστεί, αλλά προς το παρόν υπάρχει σαν ανεπίσημη, μη επαληθεύσιμη αναφορά, βιβλιογραφία, μυθοπλασία στις γραφές. Θα σας πω και τα αγγλικά, που τα έχω πειράξει λίγο. So, the same one in English. Godless war. One cannot exclude a God, but not the ever-existent one. simply because discontinuity is more complex than continuity, since the latter is enclosed in the former. Therefore, the above safely derived conclusion. The periodicity of appearance cannot be determined, but for now, it can be found as an unofficial, unedited, unprovable, unfathomable reference / biblio / fiction / fairy tale / sculpture / mantra / SMS / totem / modem in the scriptures.
Ευχαριστούμε, Δημήτρη. Ζώζη Ζωγραφίδου. Καλώς ήλθες. Πρόσεξε το βηματισμό σου ανεβαίνοντας.
Καταρχάς, θα ήθελα να ευχαριστήσω την Επιστημονική και την Οργανωτική Επιτροπή για τη φανταστική εκδήλωση, για όλο το φεστιβάλ που έχει διοργανωθεί και ιδιαίτερα τον κύριο Ντόνη Σκιαθά και τον Τάσο Παγιασλή που έκανε και τη μετάφραση των ποιημάτων μου. Τόπος μνήμης. Ένα μικρό χωριό ο καθένας μέσα του έχει κρυμμένο. Έναν τόπο μικρό, απλό, τα παιδικά του χρόνια. Οι στιγμές που τον έπλασαν, εικόνες γίναν ζωντανές, στη μνήμη τον κράτησαν, νοερά κοντά στον τόπο. Είναι η πατρίδα του, της αθωότητας η νοσταλγία, των πρώτων σκυρτημάτων, της αγάπης για τη μάνα, τον πρώτο έρωτα, την πρώτη αγάπη. Τόπος πλέον ερημωμένος, πληγωμένος, εγκαταλειμμένος. Μαράζωσε ο κάμπος, τα σπίτια ακατοίκητα, χορταριασμένα, τα κυπαρίσια στο νεκροταφείο, η σκιά τους, των φίλων το θρώισμα από τα πλατάνια, στο μισόστεγνο ποτάμι δίπλα, δροσίζουν τις ψυχές των μισεμένων. Γεμάτος πλούτο κάποτε ο τόπος, ζωή, χαμόγελο, ελπίδες. Εδώ γεννήθηκαν παιδιά, μεγάλωσαν, θέργεψαν βλαστάρια δικά τους, άπλωσαν κλαδιά, φτερά μακριά σε άλλο τόπους. Γεμάτος πλούτο ήταν η γη πατρική. Έσπηραν οι γονείς το στάρι, με δάκρυα το πότισαν, με πόνο και υδρότα. Γενιές έθρεψαν τα μπέλια, οι αλεώνες, των δένδρων οι καρποί ζωής δύναμη έδωσαν. Στέρεψαν οι πηγές του ποταμού. Το γάργαρο κάποτε νερό κυλάει πλέον λιγοστό. Δεν αρκεί τον κάμπο να ποτίσει. Εικόνες ριζωμένες μιας ηλικίας παιδικής λάμπουν μέσα στους στίχους, τους μισογκρεμισμένους, χορταριασμένες οι στέγες φτωχικών σπιτιών, μιας μακρινής εποχής δύσκολων χρόνων. Αγκάθια την ψυχή μου περιζώνουν, αγαπημένα πρόσωπα που έφυγαν, ξυπνάνε στη μνήμη λυτρωμένα. Τις φωνές τους ακούω, σαν χτες σκύβουν το μποστάνι να σκαλίσουν. Τα ζαρζαβάτια του παππού, τα φασολάκια και τα κολοκύθια, τα λεπτοκάρια, από τη μακρινή πατρίδα του ξεριζωμού φερμένα. Καρπός προγονικός, αγαπημένος. Οι αγροφράουλες, τα βατόμουρα, τα νυχτολούλουδα, οι αγριοτριανταφυλιές, τα γαϊδουράγκαθα, τα τρυφερά πόδια ανέμελων παιδιών πληγώνουν, τραυματισμένα τα γόνατα, ο κίνδυνος που αψηφούν παραμονεύει, τα φίδια και οι σαύρες τριγυρίζουν. Σκαρφάλωμα στα δέντρα, αγώνες δρόμους στα αλόνια, βουτιές στους λάκους με τις λάσπες και τις ρεματιές. Θύμησες που μένουν χαραγμένες, στιγμές ανάμνησης που ζωντανεύουν μπροστά στον έρημο βουβό μαντρότυχο του πεθαμένου ορεινού χωριού. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you very much.
A place of memory. Everyone has a small village hidden inside of them, a small, simple place, their childhood. The moments that shaped them, images become alive. They kept them in life, mentally close to the place. It is their homeland, the nostalgia of innocence, of the first feelings of love for their mother, the first eros, the first love. A place now desolate, wounded, abandoned. The plain has withered, the houses uninhabited, overgrown with grass. The cypresses in the cemetery, their shadow, the rustling of leaves from the plane trees by the nearest half-dry river, cool the souls of the dead. The place was once full of wealth, life, smiles, hopes. Here, children were born, they grew up, they raised shoots of their own. They spread branches, wings far away to other places. The paternal land was full of wealth. The parents sowed the wheat, they watered it with tears, with pain and sweat. Generations are nourished by the vineyards, the olive groves, the fruits of the trees, they gave them life's strength. The sources of the river have dried up. The once gurgling water now flows scarce, no longer sufficient to irrigate the plain. Rooted images of a childhood shine within the walls, the half-ruined, grass-covered roofs of humble houses of a distant time ago of difficult years. Thorns encircle my soul, beloved fence that have departed, awakened in memory redeemed. I hear the voices as though yesterday. They are bending over to hoe the watermelon garden, grandfather's vegetables, the green beans and the courgettes, the hazelnuts brought from the distant homeland of the uprooting, fruit ancestral, beloved, the wild strawberries, the blueberries, the evening primroses, the wild roses. The thistles wound the tender feet of carefree children, injured the knees, the danger that defies lurks. The snakes and the lizards are prowling, climbing trees, running races in the threshing floors, diving into mud pits and ravines. Memories that remain engraved, moments of remembrance that come to life in front of the deserted, mute stone wall of the dead mountain village.
Ivan Hristov.
This poem is from my third poetry book called American Poems. And the title of the poem is Angel in the Airplane. Ангел в самолета. Има нещо гнило в хляба ни, така както има нещо гнило в Дания, каза ми. И кафето е студено, като бреговете на Исландия. Но какво значение има, казах си, но какво значение има това за нашето щастие? Напоследък често ме спохожда лош сън, казах ти. Дъщеря ни пада и си удря коляното. И този път беше така. Но когато се събудих, видях ангел в самолета.
Angel in the airplane. Something is rotten in our bread, just as something is rotten in the state of Denmark, she told me. And the coffee is as cold as the shores of Iceland. But what does that matter? I said to myself, what does that matter for our happiness? Lately, I've often been visited by a bad dream. I told you, our daughter falls and scrapes her knee, and it was the same this time. But when I woke up, I saw an angel in the airplane.
Vishnu Lipnik.
Svinja na koncu sveta. Poplava je vse uničeno, mokro, deroče, skupaj s plotom tonejo ljudje, ladje, zavarovalnice in potem neki človek z glavo še komaj nad gladino gleda svinjo, ogromno pitano svinjo, večjo od sveta, svet sam, blazno zavzeto proti jabolku plavati, jabolko jesti. I'm gonna do the English. The swine at the end of the world. The flood is all destroyed, wet, rushed, together with fans, sink, people, ships, insurance companies. And then a man, with his head barely on the surface, sees the swine, huge, fattened swine, bigger than the world itself, frenzied, enthusiastic, swims towards the apple, eats the apple. Thank you.
Jonathan Tuma.
It's in Spanglish, very Spanglish. Kalimera. Kalimera σας.
Kalimera.
Thank you very much again to everyone for being here, for coming, for the poetry, of course. This one talks a bit about the spirit of what the slam is. Everybody thinks it's competition, but actually there's much more. Yesterday we had a lot of fun, too much fun maybe. So bear with me. Up and down the slam scene, pasos de palabras, looking towards the rhyme schemes y amistades largas, pondering the play, gearing up for game, letting out your words as if they were birds, flying. De oído a oído, each head un nido en el crowd, expectante con el mic, vas pa'lante buscando tu espacio. No rush, but not despacio, porque vas up and down the slam scene. Palabras que inspiran, mirando a los rhyme schemes de los que te inspira. Thinking about la crisis, how to fit it in this poetry with power. Thinking about corruption, how to breed reactions on each mouth a flower. Spark a thought y siente lento, lightning tongue for pensamientos, palabras compartidas que jugar, un tradition ancestral, una potencia astral que se mueve up and down the slam scene, up and down the slam scene. ¿Y para qué vale un slam scene si no es para connections? Usando los rhyme schemes to foster good relations, to gain entendimiento. Believe me, yo no miento, me equivoco. That is true, pero siempre busco me and you and me, que podamos compartir up and down the slam scene de Bombay hasta para atrás. Usando los rhyme schemes con un word o con un scream flowing through the slam scene, con tu conscience clean, up and down the slam scene. That is what I mean. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Well, now the third group will give the closure of this session. And Robin Lambo, you first. Welcome, Robin.
This poem is about one of the additional senses that we have but don't think about very much. I'll take my hat. I wish there were a shorter word for proprioception, that inner sense of your own voice, of your own poise, how your sinews hold your weight, how bone relates to bone. I wish it sounded more casual, so you could say, I saw a flower, I smelt it, I procept, unslouching closer. Not just knowing that I move, but how the gravity of beauty feels. I wish there were a word for it other than feel, all fingertip and surface, and nothing of what your marrow knows. I wish there were a word for lungs, not based on dissection, but on breath, on where you find the tightness of despair, on where the universe is leaking into your core. I used to think it strange that for most of human history, we have had no word for green, once everywhere, unremarkable, yet here we are still piecing together, balanced on my heels, like I didn't need to know 50 types of unstable before I could walk, learning the difference between standing and falling through finding every bruise in between. I wish there were a shorter word for proprioception, so I would not need to explain again the space between drag and trans, so we would remember the hollowness of skin, so we could share the shape of the soul. Thank you.
Kaloyan Hristov.
Everyone. Мост на Хайрихан Дам. Превежда хиляди страници, по пръстите му има още мастило от онези стари книги на Ориента, наредени по лавиците на паметта му. Понякога като неискан гост, понякога като дългоочаквано писмо, старите текстове го навестяват. От години куфарът му стои нагласен до вратата. На дъното, под прилежно изгладените панталони и ризи, кротува добротата, която беше донесъл миналия век от далечни земи и подарява на хората вместо сувенир. Thank you.
Bridge to Kairi Hamdan. He translates thousands of pages. His fingers still have ink. From those old books of the Orient arranged on the shelves of his memory. Sometimes like an unwanted guest, sometimes like a long-awaited letter, the old texts visit him. For years, his suitcase is placed by the door. At its bottom, under his diligently ironed trousers and shirts, the goodness stands quiet. The goodness that he brought last century from distant lands and gives to people instead of a souvenir.
Well, next, please don't curse me for any mispronunciation of your name. Petr Chukov.
Okay, hi everybody. I will read a short and simple poem about life. Never mind, life is short but not so simple. Живот. Имам да правя толкова много неща, повечето от тях неприятни. Някой ден трябва да си платя данъците, някой ден трябва да отида на зъболекар, някой ден трябва да й кажа, че я обичам, някой ден трябва да спра цигарите, някой ден трябва да започна от начало, някой ден трябва да бъда щастлив, някой ден трябва да отида на гробищата, някой ден трябва да остана там. Life. I have so many things to do, most of them unpleasant. One day I will have to pay my taxes. One day I will have to go to the dentist. One day I will have to tell her I love her. One day I will have to give up cigarettes. One day I will have to start again from scratch. One day I will have to be happy. One day I will have to go to the cemetery. One day I will have to stay there. Thank you.
Okay. Well, dear friends, that's all for now. I'll take a short breath, and I'm sure you do know the next venue. All right. We'll meet there in a few minutes.
Okay, everyone. A few housekeeping notes. First of all, I think we're all